Going live. Oh, we're live.
And we're live. Right. Hi, guys, everybody. It's me and Chris. Anton is, last that he messaged me, he was still in Vauxhall. So we don't know where he is. But he says he's coming. So it's 7 o'clock. He said he's going to be on, but we might have gone home by then. So you never know. But today
we'll do what we can.
We've got Real Talk Chris with us today. This is going to be one of the first ones that we do. I'm going to do more bus driver lives. I'm going to get a few more, some people that I don't know. You know, there's been quite a few bus drivers come onto YouTube since I left the buses, and they've done really well. So I'm going to try and bring them on. And they basically work for Stagecoach. So I'll have a word. I'll read and we'll see what we can do. So how you been, Chris?
You know what? I've been good. Thanks for asking. So if anyone recognises me, God forbid that, I actually have got a YouTube channel, for those who don't know, called Chris's Real Talk, or just Real Talk. It used to be Chris's Real Talk. And I used to go live on that almost every day, definitely 2 or 3 times a week. And I've actually put that on the back burner. I've had a lot going on over the last couple of years. You can find me on TikTok, though, doing the odd this, that, and the other. That's Real Talk Chris. But other than that, I'm all right. I'm still driving buses. I have changed depot. I'm not at Camberwell anymore. I have gone to Alpington for a few different reasons. But it's a different way of life up there. It's so much more relaxed. Yeah, it's all right.
Right, good. I haven't got my. I can't find the. That's not there. I'm just looking for the messages, but I can't find them. So I'll have to do another look. There'll be somewhere.
Oh, do you like a good tea?
I don't know where they are, but I'll go anyway. Who we got in the chat? We've got Johnny Small Pepper. I knew he was coming. He's one of mine. He's a mad.
Is he one of yours?
He's one of mine. He comes over from. He's in California, and he eats the hottest peppers you can think of. He doesn't like peppers, but he eats them anyway.
But he eats them. Yeah, why not? Do you know what? Someone tried. They tricked me into eating a California Reaper about 4 years ago, unbeknownst to me what it was.
And
so I walk into my friend's. Yeah. So my friend's got a vape shop in Camberwell, and I walk in there, and he's like, "Chris, try this curry. Try this curry." So he gets this spoon, and on the spoon is this curry, and I've gone straight down the hatch like that, and I'm chewing it. And as I swallow it, it hits the back of my throat like someone's punched me straight in the neck. And I'm chewing it, I've swallowed it. He's gone, "Chris, you know what you've just eaten?" I've gone, "What?" I've gone, "What?" He goes, "You've just eaten a Carolina Reaper, and you've just had the only chili that was in the curry."
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
That's evil.
So, and the thing is, the worst thing about it is the flavour's fantastic, but it creeps up on you, and it gets worse. And it gets worse, and it gets worse. And I had no milk, no yogurt, no nothing. I sat there, and I firmed it. And for half an hour, it felt like Satan was taking a crap down my neck. Right? Anyway, so I've gone back to work, and I'm driving my bus. 4 hours later, and this is the funniest thing. 4 hours later, I'm driving my number 12 around Trafalgar Square, and as I've turned onto Whitehall from the roundabout, I've had this god awful. It's like someone had got a hot poker that was stabbing me in the gut with it. I've had to pull the bus over, run into McDonald's, use the toilet, and then go back to the till, buy a milkshake to chase it down. Honestly, it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Guys, if you like eating chilies and you do it well, do you? If you've never tried these things, seriously, don't do it.
I never will.
Don't do it.
No.
I think we've got Ross McGarry going to watch. If you know Ross McGarry, didn't you? Scottish. My Scottish pal from Faith. He's a lovely bloke. He's Ross McGarry. He should be watching at some point. And I think Francis, if you know Frank.
We've got Johnny. We've got Sammy. We've got bus driver Sam from New Zealand. New Zealand,
Ruth, nice.
Ruth, the transport hub.
We've got transport.
Did you know that's his new name? Yeah, his new name is Ruth. Don't ask me why. Just go with it.
I'll ask him on Facebook later.
Smoke Nandos. Ross McGarry's in the house.
Ross McGarry, all right, mate.
Yeah, Anton's late. Sarah's random videos. Hello, Roy West.
I love Sarah.
Bus driver life. Key one is in the chat, and if he's listening, we wanted you on the. We're going to have you on the next live, so let's have you on there.
Join us,
Francis there. Sean Maxwell, transporter Ross McGarry, Tahid Rahman. Tahid was one of my first ever subscribers.
Was he?
Yeah, one of my first. Yeah, we've got 25 in the house. And I'm going to flick over. No. Sarah's random video sent me some questions.
Can I just say one thing about Sarah's random videos? Sarah, from you message me on Facebook somewhat regularly, and all I can say to you is thank you so much, because you share all these amazing things that you do with your performing and how much progress you're making with all the people you're doing it with. And all I can say to you is thank you for sharing that with me. And I think you're a fantastic person for doing what you're doing. Keep it up. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. She's always been very kind. She has things going on, but she's always been very kind to always leaves.
She's one of the most genuine people I've ever had the pleasure to speak to.
Yeah, she is sweet. So the questions she gave me is, do you like sprouts? And because she hates them, and will you be having them on Christmas Day? Yes, I think so. I think I will be too. Are you looking forward to Christmas?
Yeah. I think we're looking forward to Christmas. For me, it's all about seeing the kids' faces light up.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a 10-year-old, so it's quite sweet to have them. She's a little madam at the moment, but
it's beautiful. I mean, I've got my 2 boys and my missus, 3 beautiful girls. I just say to everyone, I've got 5 kids now. It's fantastic, and it's as long as they're happy, that's the main thing.
You say you have 5 kids?
Yeah, so I've got 2 boys, and my missus has got 3 beautiful girls.
Okay.
And I just refer to them all as, I just say that I've got 5 kids. I love them all exactly the same. They're all fantastic. And just seeing their faces, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Have you had anyone famous on your bus?
Any what failures? Sorry.
Anyone famous on your bus?
Anyone famous on my bus? I'm pretty sure I had Sacha Baron Cohen get on one of my buses a long time ago. But I see more people outside of the bus. So I've seen quite a few celebrities walk past me. If that counts, I've had Vanessa Feltz walk past me, and gave me a nod. And she's actually really short. You wouldn't think it though on TV. I nearly ran over Professor Green about 7 years ago in Oxford Street. He just ran straight across me. That was interesting. The actor from Him and Her, I can't remember his name. God, for the love of God, I can't remember his name. So if anyone knows the main character, the main bloke from Him and Her, him. I've walked past him a couple of times. He's really tall, actually. But no, other than that, but saying that, as a bus driver, sometimes you just see people. You don't recognise faces. You just see people get on and off. I may well have had people get on a bus that's famous, and I would never know.
I've lost everything now. I don't know what I've done.
What you lost?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few. I've lost all the chats. I just can't find them. They're not coming in. I found them. Aha.
Let's have a look.
The chat.
There they are.
Oh, here.
Good chat.
Bus driver live. There we are. Here we are. Yeah, so I mean, I've had a few nice people, rich, not so much rich, but famous people. The nicest one I ever had, a famous one, was not in a bus, but in a taxi. Oh God, I can't remember his name now. Eric Sykes.
Eric Sykes.
Remember Eric Sykes? I picked him up twice because he used to have an office in Rathbone Street, and I picked him up twice, but took him there. The first time he was as sour as sin. The second time round, he was the nicest, funniest man. You just couldn't have a nicer passenger. It really was. He was fantastic. But I've had Nigel Havers, Angelina Jolie years ago before she was really famous.
An aspiring actress.
It was Professor Snape. Can't never remember his name.
Alan Rickman.
That's him. Yeah, I picked him up. I won't speak ill of the dead.
He'd only speak ill of you.
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously.
Him. There you go. Cast Iron Rob. He's in the house. Here we go. I've actually worked it out a little bit. Johnny Small Pepper's in the house.
Johnny Small Pepper.
Check him out. If I would suggest that anyone who likes eating really mentally hot, or just watching, because he has these chocolate primatali things and these Carolina Reaper things, and he lets the chat vote on who.
Ooh, I like that.
On what he wants, and we always pick the really nasty one.
No, give him a break. Give him. Do you know what it is? Give him the not so hot
for
one.
his channel. So yeah, it's really nasty at times. No, we have to give him grief because that's what he's here for. So
do you know what? If you want to switch it up a little bit, if you want to switch it up, play Bean Boozled. Get the Jelly Bean game. Play Bean Boozled live on camera. You know, that's a fun one. And then finish it off with a chili afterwards.
No. I'd rather not. No. Absolutely no.
I don't
absolutely
mind
not.
That. I don't mind playing. No. I'd play it on camera. You know,
we've got
some of those things.
ER said Idris Elba walked past him in Park Lane. I probably wouldn't know who Idris Elba was. I know the name. I know he's a black actor, but
Idris Elba.
Fantastic. Yeah. Nigel Barber is not first and proud of it. Well done, Nigel. Well done. Yeah. So you've moved from Camberwell down to Orpington. Was the transition hard, or was it? Because they've stuck you on the longest bus route in London, haven't they?
Well, the funny thing is, I had a few things going on at Camberwell which I wasn't happy with. I'm not going to go into that because that's a bit personal. However, I did go to my manager and I said, look, can you get me a transfer? And he said, the funny thing is I actually had an email from the manager at Orpington asking me if we've got any drivers to go on loan because, there was a lot of drivers short. So I went on loan to that garage initially for that sweet loan money on top of my pay every week. And I was there for about 3 months, and I just said, sign me over, change the contract, sign me over, and it was done like that. You know, I mean, it's a bit of a pain. I mean, I live where I live.
£9 a day to move, isn't it?
What on loan?
I think it's £9 a day, isn't it? That you get extra.
Oh yeah, it works out to after
£9
tax,
extra.
£50 a week after tax. So yeah.
Okay.
£10 after tax, but that's actually increased now since the pay rises went through. So it's substantially more than that now. But I'm not on loan anymore. I mean, it costs me now. Whereas before I could walk into work for free. Go for it. I can't see. It's so small on my telephone. What does it say if you don't mind?
What shifts? It's from Smoke Nando's. What shifts do you most do you you do most on the 358 rotor? Well,
Smoke Nando's, I recognise you. Smoke Nando's, I recognise you big time because you come up on my channel as and when I go live. It varies. It is a good mixture. So I can go from earlies to middles to lates to middles to earlies again. But what I prefer is earlies. So it's not a case of what happens most. It is just a mixture of whatever's on the rotor. When I could have a month of earlies and early middles, and then do a month of lates, but it is what's on the rotor. But I much prefer earlies. Absolutely.
At Bromley, there are drivers there that had never done an early shift in forever because they didn't want to do it. Yeah. They put them, but they couldn't stay on the one bus. They had to do the 61, 261, 3, just to transfer around. Sammy's got to go and eat his dinner. He's got a Chinese coming, lucky bugger.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, and that's another thing I was going to say about the transition to Orpington is I said to him I'm only doing one route, and now in Orpington that's quite unheard of because there's about 20 odd routes in that garage, including all the R routes and this, that, and the other. And I said I'm only doing one route. It'll be the 358 or the 227. Pick one. So they said, do you know the 358? I said yes. They went, well, go and route learn it officially, sign it off, then go on it, and that's it. And I only do to this day just the one route because I'm lazy.
well, I mean, it is the longest bus route. It was 17 and a half miles.
It's 17 miles from Orpington Station to Crystal Palace Station. Yeah, the Crystal Palace.
And that, I can't remember what buses you drive. You drive the old Mercedes, don't you?
Yeah, the MECs, the MECs, the Citaros, I believe. Do you know they're lovely buses, but they break down so often at the moment.
Too bloody long. Too long to get around them little tight corners.
Do you know what? They're so manoeuvrable though. I don't mind driving them. Yeah, they're good. Yeah. They're good.
So I've got another one. Farmer's Wife, Farming Life. That's Lauren. How are you, Lauren? Are you well? What's Francis saying? I also cover shifts in case they're short at London Bus Museum at Common. Currently, London Transport Museum if they're short as well. Yeah, you like putting yourself around, don't you, Francis? He gets around. He gets around. He's a slut.
He's a fuck, but he's lovely. We do love our Francis. Lovely bloke. I bumped into Francis today, funny enough.
Okay. Not literally, huh?
No, genuinely, literally bumped into him at Crystal Palace. You know, I was literally running to the toilet and I was like, Frank, how you doing? You know, so took a quick selfie, put that on Facebook. You know,
Frank, yeah. I bumped it. I think I've seen him. And I used to see what's his name, SS James.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him on YouTube for a long time, so I don't know. He normally comments and stuff, but he hasn't done for a long time.
Yeah, I usually bump into him at Orpington and sometimes Crystal Palace, but I haven't seen him actually in person for about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah,
another lovely guy.
Because he lives that big in Ilway, I think, so he gets the 320. So I used to pass him.
R9 he lives around Ramsden sort of way.
Oh really? Oh god.
I used to live around there. It's a lovely area. Oh,
lovely area. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful place.
Or not. You live in a protected area now, don't you?
Me, I live in Brixton. It's lovely, yeah.
Lovely.
I'm not even gonna lie.
I thought you lived in Penge.
I did. It's part of the bigger things that have happened over the last 2 years. Many things have happened. So now I live in Brixton, and it's do you know what? Compared to what Brixton used to be 30 odd years ago, Brixton is lovely.
I lived in a squat in Railton Road.
It's only around the corner from me, funny enough.
Not for very long, but this was back when it was very naughty. Oh my lord! It was proper drama. I loved it down there. I really did.
Yeah, Brixton's all right. And get all
So
your shopping down there.
Johnny's back in the house. The bus driver from New Zealand is back in the house. Who are we?
Back in the house.
Kate Wright. The Kate Wright Gallery is in the house. Fantastic. Please make this a regular thing. You have a fan.
Well, all I'm going to say is
she's not coming here for me. I've never seen her before. So Katie Wright is here for you because I've never seen her before. So she's obviously
all I can say is thank you for having me on your channel. You know, it's been a long. Do you know this is the sort of thing that makes me want to get back into doing YouTube on a more regular basis on mine. I should have actually set this up on my computer, you know, and set OBS up after the massive factory cluster. I'm not going to
now I know where the comments are. I can do it again.
Yeah. So
here you go. This is it.
I'll get it working.
Katie Wright, this is fantastic.
Get it working.
Please make this thing a regular thing. Well, I do plan to do more bus driver stuff, and maybe some taxi drivers as well, because we are the superior race, obviously.
Just because you know where you're going doesn't mean you do it well.
Sometimes I know where I'm going. Not very often, I have to say.
Oh yeah, but all saying that, the blue book, it's all about the blue book, though, isn't it?
Listen, there's a saying: if you stick to the orange and lemons, you can't go wrong. And obviously, if you look at an A to Z, all the map roads are orange and yellow.
Orange and yellow.
So if you stick to the orange and lemons, you can't go wrong.
That's right. You know,
Sarah's been through.
Sarah's
been through Brixton on the train. She says that's about as close as she wants to get.
That's all right. Brixton's a lovely place. But for those who don't know about taxi driving, you know, it's something you need to respect, because there's people that get in a cab and they'll think that the driver knows where they're going, whatever, they've got the sat nav. The hard work that goes into being a taxi driver, I tell you what, I mean, one of my best friends, he's a taxi driver, and his brother and their dad, funny enough, all three of them. And
dynasty. I call them dynasties.
Years of knowledge and route learning. And when you say route learning, it's literally from, say, if you've got London, a point here, and you've got a point here, you have to know every road in between, and you've got a line. So it's like a dumbbell. You've got a circle up here and a circle down here and a line. You have to go from there to there, following that line. Even if you have to go,
we call it running the cotton. So in the old days, you used to run a piece of cotton up, draw it on, and you know,
every single road that goes along that line, if it's the straightest route, you have to take it. Yeah.
So
it's difficult. Well done.
So,
I mean, I couldn't do it.
Lauren's down in. I'm sure she's in Somerset, somewhere like that.
Somerset, right?
Is your dad a cabbie in London, or is he a cabbie in Somerset? I'm sure it's Somerset. Might be Cornwall.
My accents are terrible. I say to my missus right there in my.
That was my Welsh accent.
That was your Welsh accent. Oh dear. I shudder to hear what it sounds like hearing your Indian accent. Probably sound exactly.
No, we're not going there. We're not going
there. Just for the record, for anyone who can do a Welsh accent and then do an Indian accent, try and swap back to the Welsh accent. You'll never be able to do it. Never. They sound identical when you try and do them.
Somerset, he's a cabbie in Devon. Oh, we don't talk to cabbies in Devon. They're not real taxi drivers, are they? No, they're not real taxi drivers. It's
not even a real place when you think about it, really, is it? No.
Couldn't afford to live there, so I'm not going to go. I'm not going to have it. No. One of the taxi drivers in Medway is a London bus driver. Oh. Okay. I mean, look, I remember in COVID when I joined the buses, there were 8 taxi drivers in Bromley in the depot, and there were even more down in Orpington, you know. So, and a lot of them didn't come back to driving the cab.
Well,
so he's stealing my work out of Heathrow. Listen, see this? She's admitted her dad steals all my work.
See, at least you know who the culprit is now.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. So,
but
so what
would
are your
you
plans?
ever go back to the bus? Go on, after you. Go on.
So I was just thinking, what are your, I mean, your plans? Are your plan or your long-term plans being a bus driver, or is it? I mean, how long have you been driving the bus now?
Well, coming up 13 years now, I've been driving buses. I've seen a lot of different things happening on the road, accidents, people getting injured, which is never nice. Um, I've seen the roads in London change drastically thanks to our wonderful mayor. It's I've seen the job change. Especially when we went from taking cash one day to never taking cash again. That threw a spanner in the works for a lot of people. And that was that was one of the best things to happen in London on London buses is doing away with cash. But moving forward, I'd like to say I'd do something different. I'm actually looking at the moment at the possibility of being a train driver and broaden my horizons that way. But if that doesn't happen, at least I know I've got a job for life being a bus driver. And if we lose the routes, I can go with the route to another depot, for example, get 2P'd over. It is a job for life if you don't mind doing it. It's not a bad job.
I think, I mean, the thing that I struggled with, well, not so much struggled, is that working 7 days. It's never. I've got motions going into Congress now because I'm in the GMB. I'm just trying to rock the United's boat. I'm actually trying to get Unite to do something. I know they're not going to, but I'm putting motions in about about bus companies having to start their week on a Monday, not a Saturday.
For those who don't know, so the way the rotor schedule works for bus drivers, our working week always starts on a Saturday. Okay. And you can work Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? And that's
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, you can
and then
work,
have the Friday off and start working Saturday again.
Yeah, so you could literally work 7 days in a row, but be paid for 5 of them. Only paid for 5 of them because you work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then you have, say, Wednesday, Thursday off, for example. Wednesday, Thursday, you're 2 days off. But because your working week starts on a Saturday, that Tuesday, Thursday, Friday is your 2 days off. And you've got, it's hard to explain sometimes, but working 7 days in a row, or even 8 or 9 days in a row, 1 or 2 of those will be overtime, but you're having to work 7 days in a row anyway before getting 2 days off and only get paid for 5 of them. My idea, I've been trying to get someone to figure out how we can go about doing this. So my idea is if we don't get paid a week in hand, so I worked last week, I'll get paid that this week, for example. If we work 2 weeks in hand but get paid weekly, right, then surely we could be paid for the days we work in a row. So whatever I worked 2 weeks ago, I could get paid next week.
You could work a week in hand.
Yeah. An extra week in hand, but be paid weekly, if that made sense. You'd get paid for what you worked in a row. But
instead of an average over the last, an average over the last 15 weeks?
Yeah, something like that. Something's got to change because we do work a lot. A lot of people say, "Oh, but you work 5 days." This, that. No, you don't. You work 7, 8, 9 days in a row sometimes, and that's just the way it is.
But the thing is, lorry drivers carry boxes of milk about, boxes of clothes, shoes, and whatever.
Yeah, and
they work less hours per week per 7 days or per 14 days than any bus driver ever will, and you've got a more precious cargo. I can't get my head around it.
No, I don't understand it. And the thing is there's so many rules that lorry drivers they have to work to, which don't apply to us. Like livestock, for example, and the difference between livestock and humans with heat in the summer. So if the air conditioning doesn't work on our buses and it's absolutely sweltering hot in the summer, and for those who don't know, who've never been to the UK, our summers are ridiculously hot. I mean, they are. And when you're on a bus when it's 40 plus degrees, that's not safe. You're not allowed to transport livestock over a certain temperature, but yet we can transport passengers on a bus that's
But
baking with no air conditioning.
Lauren might
You know,
know
and that's
because
not fair.
she's a dairy farmer, so I would imagine she
Please let
understood.
us know. Let
But
us know.
yeah, you're right. But there are rules in place. It's I can't even remember it is. It's Section 40 of the Environmental Health Act that allows you to walk away from your job. But you try and pull that one in it's too hot to go to work. Okay, you're not getting paid.
Yeah. Thing is, if you go to work and you stop the bus and you refuse to drive it on health and safety grounds, the bus is too hot. My passengers are struggling. They're suffering. I'm getting verbal complaints about the heat on the bus. What I will, and I have done it before, I've stopped the bus and I've had to transfer my passengers off the bus onto other buses that have working air conditioning. And I've had to sit there and not drive it. And I've refused to drive until the engineers have brought me another bus or they say bring it back.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I personally, I can live with having no air conditioning. You know, I'll just stick with it. But when my passengers are uncomfortable and they haven't got any water with them and they're stuck in traffic and the sun's coming through the windows like a greenhouse, I have to think about their safety first, and I will every single time. And if that means transferring them onto another bus that is cooler, then I'll do it every single time. I'm not gonna. They're more important to me than me getting mileage money for the company. You know.
Nigel Barber said one of the reasons why the week starts on a Saturday is that most changes to bus routes happen on a Saturday.
I can see that. I can see that.
Ross McGarry's gone to bed. Ross McGarry's gone to bed.
He's a busy bloke one way or another, is our Ross McGarry. He's always up to something. Would you ever consider going back on the buses if absolutely necessary, if need be?
I was talking to the missus about it the other day about making sure my DCQ card doesn't run out, DQC card doesn't run out. So it's like you said, it's a job for life. As long as that card doesn't run out, I can work.
It's the CPC. That's the one. It's the CPC card.
DQC.
DQC.
DQ. It's driver qualification card now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the PCP is gone.
CPC was they used to
PCP, something completely different. Yeah, the CPC is gone. It's the driver qualification now. The blue card.
The blue card. Well, okay. Yeah, same. I think we're talking about the same thing. The same meat, different gravy.
Yeah.
You know, it's essentially.
So as long as that doesn't run out, I don't have to retest.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if you go back with Go Ahead, for example, or Stagecoach or Arriva, they'll pay for your CPC in house. You know, they'll do that as part of your training and induction anyway. But you can do it yourself. It does cost £150 though.
Is that for the week or per day? Because you have to do 5 days, 5 8-hour days, don't you?
You need 37 hours over the course of I'm not sure. All I know is the number 150. That should be. I think that's for the day. I think that's for each course.
Okay.
I think that's It's a lot of money.
I haven't looked into it yet. So, but it's something that. Because as I've always said, I'm never say never about driving a bus again because I didn't mind driving a bus. I really didn't.
No, but the thing is, it's an option if you had to. It's not a nice option, but you could.
Oh yeah. So, Smoke Nando says, "How many disciplinaries have you had?"
That's confidential.
None of your business. That is the answer. And he also says, Chris, can you explain this to Go Ahead, apprenticeship scheme versus how Stagecoach and other companies recruit their trainee bus drivers?
Well, we all have, I think all these bus companies now have the apprentice scheme. I never went through that. That's something that I didn't experience. The apprentice scheme, I think, is a funny thing because it does, in essence, produce a better driver. Because if you've got these drivers on the apprentice scheme, It's a year's worth of learning essentially, and you're going out on the road and driving your bus while being an apprentice and this, that, and the other. But you get apprentice money until you go to a garage, which is understandable. But the reason why the companies, in my opinion, and I can't prove this, but my opinion is the reason why they've introduced the apprenticeship scheme is not so much to produce a better quality of driver, which is supposed to happen, but it's because obviously they get a certain amount of money from the government in order to have these apprentices. So you'd think that they would be earning slightly more money than they actually put out for each apprentice over the course of 12 months. But I think all bus companies are doing the apprentice path to getting a job now. Whereas myself,
Rashine says enterprise training do CPC courses for £39 per unit, including the upload fee. So 39.
Maybe it is 150 for the entire thing then.
Yeah.
That works out about right, doesn't it? Quite possibly.
Anton says he'll be back by 7.
And the time is now 4 minutes past 7.
He said 3 minutes.
Ooh. Okay. Let's see if 3 minutes is an actual 3 minutes. Let's see what time zone our Anton is running in.
Is it Anton time?
It's Anton time.
Smoke Nando's, you're asking personal questions. You know, he's asking what rate you're on. Are you on the top rate? Over £20.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what, I am on top rate, but I'm not going to tell you what that is. That knowledge is common knowledge if you know where to look for it. It is publicly available, but I'm not going to tell you what that is.
All the bus nerds know. It's like when I did my videos, I used to put my duty card up, and they told me I can't put my duty card up, even though all the duty cards are online. Yeah, anyone can find out. I mean, Jack would tell me, and Tom Faruqi, he'd tell me. They used to send me them. He used to email me.
Yeah.
Like I can't, you know what I mean? I just turn up every morning, drive a bus. But so it's £39, £39 per unit, depending on how many units you need to do. So I need to do 4. So that's not bad. To keep your license going for another 5 years, I suppose, is not so bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. When you think it's money well spent when you think about it, you know, because it gives you options then. And things you don't have to drive buses with that. You can drive coaches with that if you wanted to change it up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing I was thinking about. So Ruth, the transport hub, says he'll appear. Anton will appear with his dinner.
Oh, don't say that. He's done that to me, and I told him off for it. He really did, because we was on a live. It was me, Anton, and Andre, and he turned up eating his dinner, and I'm trying to keep a straight face and have this interview with him and talk about this, that, and the other. And he's like, "One sec, lad. One sec. Let me just eat my lasagna." You know. Yeah. I thought to myself, you wouldn't do that if this was the BBC. You wouldn't do that, or would he? No,
but you know he would.
Probably. Anton is Anton. We love Anton. He is who he is. He's a force to be reckoned with when it comes to YouTube.
A question for you question from Frank. Real talk, Chris. If you live in Brixton, wouldn't you gone to Stockwell Garage, which is nearest? I like Stockwell Garage the best.
Absolutely not. No, because in all fairness, I've driven down that side of London and I live this side of London. You know, I've done the central London thing. It's for me, it's not for me. So if I go out that way, you know, yeah, it costs me what it does in petrol to drive there every day. But it's just different. I wanted something slower. You know, a long route which I can drive. I mean, on a quick day, it's 40 minutes. On a quick trip, 40 minutes. On a crappy day, it's nearly 2 hours from one side to the other. But it's not driving in central London. That's what I wanted to get away from driving in central London. So that Orpington's perfect for me.
Just once, I'd like to take a bus down Oxford Street. Just once. Or Oxford or Regent Street, round Hyde Park Corner, or you know, round Marble Arch, somewhere like that. Just to do.
You know what?
Just once.
Ask them if they could with a mentor or someone, you've got your license, you've got your in-date CPC card still, or DQC card still. Would it be possible to promote the company? You know,
They won't.
Drive a bus just one trip.
They don't even want. They don't even want. Go ahead. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, Stagecoach do one out of. They do the 25 that goes down there, don't they?
They do.
But they don't want you to have any of your the driver logos or bus logos.
Well, I had this conversation with my manager at the time when I was at Camberwell, because he's aware of the channel, and he said to me that he didn't mind the logo being displayed as long as nothing was being said that was detrimental, rude, or derogatory that can bring the company to disrepute. Other than that, he didn't mind the logo being showed as long as it, if I obeyed the rules of social media, which is fair enough,
Yeah.
But Anton's paranoid shitless about it. He really is.
He got pulled in, didn't he? He had to take a load of videos down.
Yeah. I
wouldn't. Yeah. So sue me. Fuck you. Sack me. I'll go and work somewhere else.
Well, the thing is that
I says, have a look at my lasagna. He said he did a live.
Yeah. I was forced to take a video down. Someone put a complaint about me to TFL over one of my videos on YouTube. I think it was over PPE or something I was talking about back in lockdown. I said, well, it's freedom of speech. Yeah, but you can't talk about that because it's misinformation. No, it's not. But if you want me to remove it, I'll remove it just to please you. That's fine. Whatever.
Oh.
No. Is he here? Is he here? Okay, everyone, I think the video, if you can still see or hear me, the video looks like it's paused or frozen. I'm not sure what's happening, but we're going to try and roll with it if it's still going. You still there? Hello? Now we're going to roll with it anyway. So anyway, thanks everyone for joining the live today. I'm just going to carry on talking till this reconnects, or I get told to shut up, one or the other. I have been off for a long time from YouTube, but like I said before, you can get me on TikTok. I do that semi-regularly. Is he back? Oh, there we are. We are back.
Oh, there he is.
And Tom.
How we doing? I've finally made it home. Somebody's sick on the blooming tube line. Can you believe it? I'm trying to get home and traffic from Camberwell, and then someone's sick on the tube line. Me needing the loo when I come back. Finally made it.
Thanks for sharing that with everybody, and I'm sure they're
too much
thrilled to hear. They're thrilled to see and hear that you had.
Good to see you, Chris.
Good to see you too. How are you?
I'm all right. It's just nice to be home, sat on the sofa.
Good.
It's great to do. I've been missing these videos, Mike, how are you doing, Mike?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. You're looking well.
See, it's been a while. I'm still the same.
I haven't seen you since.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you. We've got a bit of a choppy connection at the moment, but I can still hear you, Anton.
Chris, you got a big beard. I can't compete with you.
Well, the thing is, my beard, I'm growing the beard out, but it's turned grey all round here. It's
Yes, I'm going grey here. I remember starting to go grey here when I was 37. I remember thinking, what's that? Beard. But it's because I didn't really shave, and I thought I won't go grey because I'm not shaving a lot. But it's got nothing to do with how much you shave. I don't have strong growth. Oh, let me just get my shoes off. Literally, there you go. I've got my shoes. Shoes are coming off.
Leave your socks on.
Speaking of shoes, I was going to be doing some shoe videos because I usually buy. No, usually, right? I buy new shoes from Clark's. I always do, but things have gone up in price this last few years, and I thought, what if there are some on eBay? How good or how bad could they be? And amazingly, I've actually bought them this last year. I still haven't opened them up. I know it sounds mad. It's because I haven't done a video yet. That's why. But I've literally worn these to death nearly. These are nearly worn to death.
So if you buy shoes off eBay, forgive me for my miscommunications or misunderstanding. Are they new?
No. It's just something that I thought of. You know what? It's like this. I wear socks in shoes, and Oh man, I must have. I wear shoes nearly to the death until I start to get damp socks. Let's just say that. And I used to have 2 pairs, one for each day, so that you allow one to like freshen up, just by itself, and so I started to get some shoes, and some were like nearly new. They say like nearly new, like new, just worn once.
It's like buying tires.
Yeah, but looking at the condition of them on the photographs, they were like, I would call them very good, like new. I won't get anything that's fair or acceptable. So in my shoes to death because I haven't got around to. Like I said, I haven't been like you've just said. Was it
Anton,
what Chris said? You haven't done videos for months. I haven't.
Ask you a series of questions, and I would like you to give me a series of answers, please. Honestly,
yes.
Do you worry about athlete's foot?
Athlete's foot.
Yes or no?
I'm not an athlete, so I don't have to worry about it.
Okay, that's fine.
I've never had athlete's foot. To be honest, can you explain to me what it is? I've forgotten what it means. Athlete's foot.
Would you wear underwear that had belonged to another man?
No way. No. No. That's just.
So you'd be okay wearing someone else's shoes that have had someone else's sweaty foot in it?
Well, let's just say this: I've worn my shoes hundreds of times, and mine don't stink. Maybe I'm assessing it wrong. I don't know. It's my opinion.
I think you've gone nose blind.
But literally, I'm not kidding you. I have bought. See, I've not told anybody this, and I wasn't even when I do a video. But I literally bought.
You're going to do it. You're going to do it in a live stream. Go on.
I have bought. I just because I'm always kind of working on videos or whatever, or I'm not saying accidentally doing a video, but I just thought, I bought some secondhand shoes off eBay. I mean, I'm not saying I've seen a video on YouTube about that, but I just thought it's something random, and I thought, how good or how bad can it be? And all this Chris with fireworks in the background. What's going? I can't compete with these special effects. No, basically, my special effects are the fish tank up there.
just give a double thumbs up on the camera.
What do you mean? I can't. I'm holding the phone.
Don't worry about it then. It's fine. Okay.
Yeah. Are you using laptops? Are you using laptops?
I'm on my telephone devicey thing.
Well, actually, Mike's further away from the camera, so Mike looks like he's on the laptop, and I can see a screen reflecting in Mike's glasses. But then again, we've got no glasses, so I'm just saying, if I had glasses, it would reflect obviously what I'm seeing here as well. So.
I can't see shit without them. So we've got Francis Wadsworth, who says, hello, Double Decker Anton, how are you?
I remember Francis from last time. Yeah, he was a guest on Chris's video, I think.
He was. The Transport Hub, who's now called Ruth, says, hi, Anton. RJM
formerly known as
says, hi, Anton.
Peter Horrocks. I recognise that. Peter Horrocks.
Come on, you should know Peter Horrocks.
Yeah, he's an Arriva bus driver.
He's up in Enfield, isn't he? It's not way up.
Yeah, I've been seeing a few.
Maybe Jack Clements will be joining as well.
Yeah, I remember he did a video in the snow, Peter Horrocks, last year. I think it snowed up, and he kind of filmed it. It was a nice video. Very nice video.
Yeah, he did.
Turning something bad into something good, and you get stuck. Just film it, and it was nice. It's good to see you, Chris. It's like we're all in the same garage.
Do you know what? It is good to see you, Anton. It is. It's been a while. I think next time I get a day off where I'm not actually doing anything, just dossing about in London, when I'm not doing anything in the midweek, I might take a trip down to the garage in Camberwell just for old time's sake and eat some of that wonderful canteen food and play some free pool.
I haven't been to the canteen. I'll be honest. The reason I don't go to the canteen is because it was 14 years of me bus driving. Obviously, I did about 10 and a half in the north. I was at a belly over the road. And then when I came to a garage with an actual canteen, I got so used to not having a canteen that I don't know, it's like as if, it's a bit like if you train an elephant, not in a circus, not to kind of go away from the middle by, I think if you stamp something in the ground and put a rope around its leg, and then eventually it gets accustomed to thinking it won't go any further, and then you take the rope off and it won't go any further. It's something like that. It's something where I'm thinking that there's a canteen I could go to, and I suppose price-wise, it's kind of okay. But then again, I know that it can. Well, It's not so bad. Today I went to McDonald's. Because Metro have a voucher. They've had no vouchers for a year. Not that I go to McDonald's loads. And today's was 20% off, whatever. But it had a picture of a Big Mac, fries, and Coke. I went in at Camberwell, right? And I said, "Can I have a £1/4 and fries and Coke, please?" He goes, "Oh no, it's only for Big Macs." And I said, "It doesn't say it on here." So she went to speak to a maybe supervisor, and she came back saying, "You actually are right. I can do that, but obviously, can you get the Big Mac?" So I said, I got a Big Mac, fries, Coke, and a £1/4.
I'm surprised you never threw at them. Do you know who I am? Do you know who you're talking to? I'm Double Decker Anton.
You know, I still get. You know what? I got stopped twice in a day about 4 or 5 weeks ago. It was at Elephant and Castle and at Seven Sisters. It was weird, and it's like I haven't done a video for months, and it's funny. I still get stopped. I said, "Oh, I watched you at school and all this," and I was at school.
Do you know the funny thing is, I haven't.
It was 2018.
Out.
It's that 2018 year.
Content out on YouTube for a very long time, and I still get recognised by people.
I know.
In fact, the funny thing is one of the drivers I work with, I didn't even know he actually subscribed to my channel. And this morning, he actually said to me, "Chris, when are you going to start doing anything on your channel again?" I said, "What do you mean?" Because I haven't seen you put anything on there for months and months. I said, "Did you subscribe?" He went, "Yes." You know, it's just someone I work with. I've had people come up to me on the street. "Are you Chris?" "Yeah." I watch your videos. They do. Honestly, on my kids' lives.
You must have had it, Mike.
He walks around with a T-shirt. "My name's Chris."
Do you know what? Funny you should say that.
Are you Chris?
No, it has happened. It has happened.
I'm not meaning to interrupt, but Mike, I'm thinking you've lost weight. Sorry, I don't. Mike, have you lost weight? You look. I just realised. I'm thinking you've just lost weight, or maybe you lost even more than when I saw you before.
I've lost quite
really.
Yeah.
I'll let Chris,
because I'm jealous. In all fairness, I've actually put some on. You've become a fine, trim figure of a man.
Well, from the neck up, I'm sparkling. The rest of me needs to catch up a bit. But let's have a look at the chat. I am. I'm on 54 now. CGB75 says, "Anton, you've made my evening. You're a legend."
Absolute legend. That is true.
Well, this is nice just to see you guys. Seriously, you guys have cheered me up. I do miss doing videos. I do.
Carnivore Rob says, "Where's the lasagna?"
I had it last night with some sausages and mushy peas. You remember the lasagna? I had one last night. You know, it was frozen from April. I defrosted it, cooked it.
Ah, would never have guessed.
And it was a yellow label.
How's your?
I took it out of the freezer and thrown it straight in the bin.
It's frozen. It's fine as long as you freeze it. It's fine as long as you freeze it.
Have you been barred from Tesco's yet for purchasing all of their
Well, I had my best deal in 11 years, right? It was that Tesco closed for 3 weeks because I know there was problems with the fridge freezers over the years on and off, and then the floor starts to fall apart and things. And they closed it for 3 weeks. And guess what? That last week was unbelievable. And oh man, did I spend around, was it £80 to £100? And literally, I've never had it so good. I've still got stuff because there was stuff that wasn't out of date that they were selling. Everything that was in the fridge and freezer had to go. I got quite a lot of cheese. I got a lot of cheese. I don't really eat a lot of cheese, but I got a mature cheddar, mild cheddar, Dairy. No. Everyone. Some people got the Dairies. I remember I couldn't get any of them, but I got things for like 44p. I couldn't believe it. The amount of stuff. I got some steaks. Yeah, that got me into steaks the last few months. That's what it was. I wonder why I'm eating more steak now. It's because I managed to get a few steaks.
Wait. Let me just stop you there. As a man who is, I'm only assuming in your mid-40s.
Next year I will be in the mid-40s.
You've only just started getting into steaks for a man who is not a vegetarian or a vegan. You've only just got into steaks.
No, I mean regular eating steaks. Like I had 3 this last week, and that's not normal for me. But I got 3 different ones.
That's very normal. 3 steaks a week to help you get large.
Peppercorn sauce. Who's this? Someone's coming up. Anthony Don 1. Who's that? Should I do that? Oh, these questions.
Should I do the knowledge and leave bus driving?
I think we can all answer that. We can all answer that one at a time. Mike, you go first.
Well, I was lucky because I had a license before I started bus driving. So
That's true.
I'd say yes. I'd say yes.
I would say yes, but do it cautiously. So if you've got a day off, obviously get on your bike or your moped or do whatever you're doing. Do the knowledge on your spare time. Don't just quit the job and then go and do the knowledge, because you're shooting yourself in the. It will take longer.
Yeah, we when I was at Bromley, there were two guys that were on the knowledge and got their license while I was at Bromley Bus Garage, and they both jacked the bus in now since, and they're driving full time. So
thing is that it's difficult because when my mate was driving cabs, or all three of them really, in central London a few years back, it just, these Uber and Uber type app cabs have absolutely stole all of their money, essentially. It's like a black cab. People come from around the world to London, and part of the experience in London is getting in a black taxi. In fact, you can even get black taxis most large cities in the UK, but London in particular, they want to have that black cab experience, and unfortunately the prices are set by TfL. The prices have gone up, and if they want to get around, it's cheaper to get an app cab, an Uber or whatever they're called now. And it's, and it's not fair on the cabbies that have put the time and effort into getting, who's got his license out of a Joe 90 cereal box or something. It's not fair.
Yeah, but the problem that we have with you're classing us apples and oranges, and
I shouldn't be doing that really, but I do see it's unfair.
Everyone does, but if there wasn't a need for them, they wouldn't be there. I mean, as much as I'd like them to disappear overnight, because then I could work 1 day a week.
See, I think there's too many.
I work 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
there's 120,000 of them just licensed in London. Yeah,
is there 120,000 black cabs? Oh, no, sorry,
no, 120,000 mini cabs.
Mini cabs, yeah.
There's only 18,000 black cabs.
Yeah,
and the thing
I see loads of them new ones. Yeah.
And the thing is, what you got to remember is our wonderful mayor is got the congestion charge when there's 100 and something thousand minicabs. A congestion charge. Think about it, let that sink in. Congestion, and obviously you've got the ultra low emission zone. But the thing is, these minicabs, they're not all.
Minicabs have to pay for the congestion charge.
Yeah, I know that.
But not the ULEZ, but
yeah. But the thing is, it's because of that congestion that, we've got the congestion charge anyway. Although saying that, it could just be for the money, in all fairness. More than likely, it's just for the money. But they contribute more to the congestion than anything else. Everywhere you look, there's a minicab.
Oh, yeah.
I had a Toyota Prius turn in front of me today. I was going empty to, I don't know where it was, but he did a U-turn. And I don't know. If it was a black cab, I'm more likely to just kind of, but I don't know with these.
Was it Addison Lee?
Addison Lee are the worst ones. Not having got anyone who works for them. I'm just saying, I've experienced Addison Lee. They're not professional drivers. They're just, I don't know. They're just the ones I've come across a lot of.
To save the legal side of things, Addison Lee, along with other reputable minicab companies, have the same quality of driver. Yeah, I don't want Mike to get in
Nigel
trouble.
Barber. Who's Nigel Barber? Who's Nigel Barber?
He's one of mine. It's got to go now. So thanks, gentlemen. It's been interesting. I know it might be a bit early, but Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, he says.
Merry Christmas to you too.
And you.
Merry Christmas.
I understand.
Can't believe it's December already. Can't believe it.
2 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks till Christmas
already. Yeah, it's shot by.
It's bad, isn't it?
I better get off my ass and go to work.
Yeah, with taxing, I don't know much about. Well, I mean, if I ever thought I'd become a taxi driver, I'm not saying it's long. I suppose I'm used to having lots of people. I mean, I've been.
Would you do it though, Anton? I see you very much as a people pleaser. You want to do it en masse. So why would you want to be a taxi driver when the most people you can have in your cab?
I'm a people person, and bus driving is not as much of a people person job than other jobs. Balloons.
You celebrate on your bus.
Put loads of balloons on my bus. Now that's a great idea. How many balloons can you fill a double-decker bus up with? If you get it right, you win £1,000. How many balloons could you fit in a double-decker bus? Has anyone done it? It's just a mad idea.
Do you know what? That's not a bad idea. Maybe you could do that.
I don't know.
You know.
I know. I'd love to do it.
Go to Amazon. Buy yourself.
We need a lot of volunteers.
10,000 balloons. Buy yourself 10,000 balloons and see how many you can get in there.
There's enough hot air in. There's enough hot air on here where you can blow them up together.
I don't know. It take about what? Maybe 2,500, 3,000 balloons. I'm just guessing there. I don't know. I'm just wondering how many.
He's back from his Chinese.
Was that Sammy? Hello, Sammy.
He disappeared early because he had his Chinese. He had a delivery.
Saying that, I did cook myself a nice chicken fried rice earlier with MSG, full of flavour.
Well, I'm going to have last night's sausages with cheese on crumpets, I think, and maybe oxtail soup.
You know how I live. Cheese and crumpets and oxtail soup.
Well, it's just
man of the north.
Why not?
I do love crumpets. If you put them, you can put them in the grill, but if you do put them in the toaster for about 3.5 minutes, put some butter on, and sliced cheese, maybe some oxtail soup. Honestly,
we all love a bit of crumpet, don't we? Bit of crumpet, buttery moist.
I wondered how long it'll take.
To grill crumpets.
Descend into filth.
I'm only talking about moist crumpet. What's wrong with that?
Crumpets are good. You can have eggs on them, poached eggs.
Yes, you can.
Fried egg. Poached eggs are better, really. You know. It's great. It feels like I've not done a video for ages. Seriously, it's my record now. It's literally mid to end of August.
I just love how he's oblivious. It's wonderful.
I've not done all for. It's just no. It's nice. It's just nice to be on here. Seriously, it's just cheering me up. It's I don't know. I think it's just I know. Well, it's like my last video I put out was one I filmed in mid-January, and you know what?
That sort of crumpet, Chris. A buttery crumpet.
I was going to do a video at home actually talking about how you could say 2023 has been a sad year for me. I don't mean sad in but it just.
Why is that? Are you melancholy?
Well, 4 people died in 5 months, and it kind of took me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of like I don't know. It kind of a bit of a shock. I know people are dying all the time, and I do lose members. Either of my family, or friends, work colleagues.
You never said anything. I'm sorry for your losses.
Yeah, I've not really said out, and I think it was in the space of 5 months, and when the first one was, it was like end of May. In fact, strange enough, it all started from end of January. So this is supposed to be on my video. Really, it was end of January. This is just to do with work, where suddenly my lovely route, where you have so much time, which you can make a lot of videos on, suddenly there was no time. I get to the terminus at Dulwich. I look up, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. 4 minutes, I'm out. And I thought, and then it's literally been like that the whole time. I mean, yeah, you might get 7 minutes, 8, but it used to have too much time on there. Not complaining, but it was a combination of that. And then about 9 days later, early February, suddenly the Clerkenwell terminus, we couldn't park on the hill anymore. They were going to pedestrianise it. We had to be on the bottom. So for a few months, I was thinking, I'm not enjoying this as much. And then end of May, they put me on the Shoreditch to Clapham Junction, and I'm like, what? I'm on a mixed route for the first time ever, and I'm on a route that most people don't like. And you know what? When you do 3 weeks on that, oh man, I tell you, and it's just been full on. And that was end of May, so from June, July, I'm experiencing blimey, and then obviously it was end of May when I just went around to see my college mate. I only knew him for a few years, not seen him not spoke to him for nearly 10 years. And it was just kind of strange that I pulled up and his dad come out. I said, hello, Mr. I won't say his name, I said his surname, and I don't think he knew who I was. Now, obviously, what I didn't realise was it might have been 15 to 20 years since I saw his dad. And I've put on 5 stone, I've grown long hair, and I've got facial hair. And he thought I was a bailiff. I know I'm laughing at something that is kind of, Anyway,
The most scary bailiff on the planet.
I mean, not that he's done all, I don't know, but I just know that I said, how has he been? I've not been in touch, I don't know. Has he got married? He got kids? Has he moved out? And he looked at me for a second and looked away, and then he went, mentioned his first name. He said, "What they call it has died. He died." And I was shocked just hearing when he said that. And he said he died 5 years ago, and I'm like,
it's sad.
And it just hit me like a stone. And it was a lovely blue sky, sunny day. I was going to meet up with my brother and his girlfriend. There was a festival just literally down the road, and I wasn't expecting this. And it was nice to hear it from the family, than just to actually find out from them. And it was great to see his mum, his brother, and it was just that was a kind of it shocked me, even though I'd only known him for a few years. He was a character. He had a strong character personality. And then to find out, it was cancer 5 years ago. And I was like 4 years and 11 months exactly. And I thought, I didn't know. He died 2018. And I'm like, blimey, that was when I was doing really well on YouTube that year.
But the thing is, though, sometimes time just literally flies. So for you, it may have even seemed like you only saw this person a few weeks ago. But I
had him in a film. I had him in a movie script.
5 years has gone at the drop of a hat. And all of a sudden, that person, you're not going to be able to see again.
Yeah.
But that was 5 years ago. It's like, where has that time gone? Why? If only you'd knew, maybe you could have seen that person. But the thing is, hindsight's a beautiful thing,
Yeah.
And unfortunately, death is a part of life.
Yeah.
All I can say is, I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for the rest of the family's loss. In that respect, and all I can say for that is I just hope that it wasn't painful. If it was a peaceful death, if it was, long as he was treated well and the family were there, and it's a hard thing to talk about.
Well, it wasn't. NHS kind of failed.
Well, it was a massive shock to you, and you deal with things the way you deal with things, and. All I say is, I'm sorry for your loss, mate.
Yeah, it was just the fact that I mean, I have had family members, blah blah blah, die over the years. Obviously, elderly and stuff, but it's when someone young, age 40, it was just like, and I can hear his voice.
Yeah, he's young.
I can still hear his voice where he talks, and he had a little bit of. Well, let's just say this. I'm not saying he reminds me of Boris Johnson, but he had this strong character and personality. He wasn't like him, but he just had this kind of strong character and personality that, and he was actually on a course where I was going to be working at a chemical company. He wasn't on that course. He came over from Lancashire to do this course that was only available in Huddersfield back in the 90s. So it's kind of weird that, I've not really been in touch with my old work colleagues because I was only at this chemical place for about a year. But with me friend dying, it was the fact that just for 2 years, I just thought I'd catch up. I
hear you.
It's just one of them things. It was the first. It was the first of 4 people, but I had no regrets or guilt because I know that it wasn't meant to be. It's just fate. It's life.
No, these things happen. And then Anton, moving because I think we're taking a bit of a downward turn on this at the moment.
Yeah. I won't talk about
a little bit.
Well, I'll leave that just for my own maybe. I don't know what to do.
On about vehicles, Anton, would you consider buying a brand new car? Because I know you've had a lot of issues with vehicles over the last few years, and you do enjoy your.
That's another downer
Volvo.
for me. That's another. Yeah.
Well, what's happened? Because you did love your Volvo. You had a Subaru Impreza. I think you've been absolutely.
I know. I've not announced that on my channel. I've not announced that on my channel, so no one knows kind of what my dream car was.
They do now. He drives a nice car.
Yeah, I know, but I just that one. I'm trying to sort the aircon out on it. I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I wanted everything to kind of work right. I'm a bit kind of
right, but
but the Volvo's still good.
The Volvo's still good, but what do you think about ULEZ in general? I mean, moving it out of London. What do you think he's done?
It's a cash cow. It's just a cash cow. I know it's nice to have cleaner air in London. Don't get me wrong. I remember being ill, breathing in some kind of diesel fumes. It was when I was in Huddersfield. I was behind a bus, loads of diesel fumes. I remember thinking it was to do with that bus in front, and it was like, even though I shut the window, I don't know that had made, so I know that it's nice to have nice clean emissions, but I just know it's just a cash. I just know it's a cash cow.
See,
the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer.
Well, here's the thing for the ULEZ. Mike, hope you don't mind me just interjecting on the ULEZ. So with the ULEZ, Sadiq Khan's making £5 million a day off the backs of Londoners who can't afford to buy brand new vehicles. And that is what it is at the end of the day. There are thousands and thousands of families in central London and the outskirts of London now with vehicles which are non-compliant. And they might even be non-compliant by only 1 year. And they can't afford to buy a new compliant vehicle, even with the incentives and the financial incentives that the government are offering to change their cars. It's just not financially feasible for these people to lose their vehicle and buy another car because they can't afford it.
And the awful thing about it is he doesn't care.
No, he doesn't
there's a lady across the road here. She's 80-something years old. She works in the hospital down the road 3 days a week. She does, she's one of the friends of the hospital. She goes down there, sees her mates, do a little bit for charity. She now has to get 4 buses to get to work, get to the hospital because she can't afford to put another. She can't afford. She's not going to buy another car.
Yeah, so there's loopholes. There's loopholes. Yeah. I mean, the amount of people I know and that I've seen in central London driving classic cars now. There are people out there that have got, seriously, they've got, I've seen Mark 1 and Mark 2 Capris, I've seen Morris Minors, I've seen a DeLorean, I've seen a couple of DeLoreans, funny enough, all of these old cars now that are exempt.
Early 70s
and what makes
cars.
it ironic is the fact that they put out the most emissions going. And all of these cars I'm seeing that have been mothballed for years in the garage somewhere, they've been made roadworthy, bosh. Put them on the road completely again.
No tax,
and
no ULEZ.
They're pumping out smoke and God knows what.
Look at all the route masters that are out in town now. They're all exempt.
Oh yeah, of course they are. They're exempt.
Guys,
I'm
back on the 15. They're back on the 15 route, are they? I think.
Silent. Yeah. I'm gonna have to wrap this up shortly because I've got a little one that needs to go to bed.
Yeah, I need to go to bed. I've got to be up at 1 o'clock in the morning, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I just thought,
1 in the morning.
Like my early time. Yes, 1 o'clock in the morning, Anton.
What time's your shift? What time are you signing on?
I sign on at 3:35.
Fuck that. Do you know what I'll be doing that time? I'll be rolling over and scratching my ass. Thank you very much for that image.
I swapped my 6:15.
That's not a problem. I'll be sitting in my bus and scratching my ass. That's multitasking for you. Oh, there was a question, by the way, from Smoking Nando's. Asked me about what was the longest duty and also what the break was on that. I believe the longest duty on there, is just under 12 hours long on my route. And that does give you a break of just under 2 hours on a spread over. It's a good earner, that one, actually.
We can't drive for more than 10 hours in a day.
No, was it 10 or was it 10 and a half? I think it's 10 hours, yeah. So obviously, if you've got a long arse duty like that, you have to have a long arse break in between to break it up.
I was trying to get 4-day rota going around beginning of the year as well, because
I know where I'm on the Route 3.
Yeah, and where I'm from in Yorkshire, they've had that for 2 years after I started, about 2004. They started it, and there's quite a few drivers like it. About 1 in 5 to 1 in 7 drivers like 4 days. It's not for everyone, but for me, that's another thing probably why I'm not as happy as I was, because I do find doing 6 and 7 days in a row is a killer. But I actually want to do Anton, 4 days. I want to do 4 days.
But did you also know, Anton, right, that 6 out of 7 dwarves are just not happy?
Well, where you sense of humor. But no, I feel like I'm in a little bit of a mental prison. I feel like my life is work now more than ever before, to the point where the combination of just in and out now at the terminus, now me on another route, it just feels more full on. My first 10 years and 4 months of bus driving can be summed up in my last video I put out in end of August. That's how I felt for that first 10 years and 4 months from a Bellio to where I am now, and then weirdly enough, I'm so glad I did that video when I did, because that's how I felt. 2 weeks later, everything changed, and yeah, it's all about trying to think positively, not thinking negatively. Maybe I've had too much negative,
positive mental attitude. That's what you need in life. You wake up in the morning, have yourself a cup of tea, shit, shower and a shave, go to work feeling happy. The rest of your day's set up then. If you go to work feeling miserable, you're going to have a miserable day.
And also getting a bit of a telling off for putting a video out as well for the first time, getting an actual, I've been called in many times, so I kind of knew it was coming. So to actually get a warning can put fear into you to the point where it can kind of stop you doing more videos. So that started off the year not too well. Weirdly enough, that came in end of January, February anyway. So it feels like January was a great month.
Anton, you do make me laugh. So you pump out these videos and you still get pulled in for them. What did you do this time to piss someone off?
Well, I just told the truth. I said the seats were cheap, and it was a bus on trial. And I know I am not a journalist. I'm not Jeremy Clarkson who said that Vauxhall Vector don't buy it like he did in the 90s. But I'll be honest. I'm honest. I told the truth. Like I do on my videos. I'm not going to say Anton, this is a great bus.
Jeremy Clarkson, right? And today we're on a bus. It's an Enviro 400. The seats are cheap and nasty. Do I want to sit on one? No. Why? Because I don't want to get hepatitis C.
It's the fact that I said there was two things, and the fact is, weirdly enough, the video I put out August, my last video I put out, I filmed within a few days of that other video that I put out in January. So because if you watch it, you can see I'm in the same place and it's the same kind of weather.
I'm not going to lie, Anton, I haven't watched it. So saying names and dates and numbers, I haven't watched it. But
I've just got to be careful what I do, and I'm kind of discouraged more from doing videos. I'm still doing lots of videos, but short ones. I'm preparing for future videos where just, say example, if I wasn't bus driving anymore, I could still work on lots and lots of videos and put them out to make it look like I'm still there, because I'm doing constant intros.
A little bit stalky, I'm not going to lie.
No, it's like I've been doing lots of intro videos, like a question. Like, if you ask a question, would you consider becoming a London bus driver, with a bus in the background? The next thing is I could be on the sofa chatting about it. Then I could be walking down the street saying something else. But it's like a story. The way I do my videos is like a story. And, and it's like, because I don't have as much time on the bus anymore, I can still do the odd bit here and there. But the fact is, I've got to be careful. So let's
move forward onto that. Anton, what do you see happening in the next 5 years in London for London buses?
Well, I know.
In the next 5 years,
Rishi Sunak said that Rishi Sunak said that I think wants to see buses driverless by 2030. I think he said.
Rishi Sunak says a lot of things. He's about as good as a chocolate teapot. Next,
the man's a fucking ass.
Well, let's just say this: if companies are about profit making. It's business, and end of the day, if they could replace a £30,000-40,000 bus driver, blah blah blah, with, well, I'm not saying robot, whatever, they would do it if they had the data to show.
Robo Anton.
Well, I was at the bus and coach. I was at the bus and coach expo 4 years ago, and that 2019 video I did. I remember being on that bus, and it drove by itself. But the only thing is, the driver's about to hold the steering wheel. It's like he's anxious, and he's about to.
The thing is, he has to hold the steering wheel because you need a human presence on it still.
Yeah, but I would rather just drive the bus knowing you've got full control.
The law that we have is that any autonomous vehicles has to have a human on board to take control. Yeah. So they're not autonomous.
It's like if you have a car that can park itself, you don't just let go of the steering wheel and let it do its thing. You have to keep your hands on the wheel while it does its thing in case you need to interject.
But there was some in America, some cars driving people around, driverless. There was someone in the back of a car, and it was done. Somewhere in America, I saw it about a month ago. The car was driving.
A Tesla with a dog in the driver's seat.
Yeah,
but some cars in America are driving by themselves.
But if you look at those trials, most of those trials they have crashed at some point.
I know it's scary. It's just
Yeah.
we're living in an age where.
But in all fairness, though,
yeah.
when you think about it, there's still been more crashes with humans at the wheel than electric autonomous cars.
Yeah. So I say, Ross McGarry. Wait a minute. It's been a sad year. Dad passed. Sorry to hear that, Ross. That your father passed away. I do remember
I'm
Ross.
sorry to hear that, Ross. I'd known how to give you a call. Sorry, mate.
Ross is up in Scotland, I think. I remember.
He's up in Fife.
Right, guys. It's nearly 10 to 8.
It is nearly 10 to 8. I think we do.
I'm
need
just
to
getting warmed up.
I've got to go to bed. I'm
No,
sure you are.
Leave Anton.
I can't believe when I said, Mike, see you at 8 o'clock, and then I'm thinking I thought to get a thumbs up. Yep, see you at 8, and he goes, it's 6:30. I'm like, what? Still in Campbell. I thought I got a race back.
Wonderful.
So I did send you. I sent a screenshot of the conversation that we had.
I know, and I realised it was the one before when I said see you at 8, and then I realised we couldn't do that day. We're doing another day, and it was the comment below that said, "Can you do 6:30, 7?" I was like, "Oh man, I know."
No. Well, too, I'm going to do. I am going to foxtrot Oscar because I've got to go to bed. I'm absolutely cream crackered. It's been an absolute pleasure being on. Thank you very much for the opportunity to join you today.
How's your Ford? How is your Ford car? Is it good?
I'll tell you another time because I've just said to everyone I have to go now.
Yeah.
So bye, everybody.
It's been a long time, Chris.
Bye.
See you, Mike. Thank you very much.
Just turned up. We're all going now. You're about an hour and 40 minutes late.
Bus driver Taylor, big hello to him.
Right.
He's just turned up.
Love you lots. See you later.
I'll drop you a text, Taylor, and I'll have you on the next live. All right, mate?
We'll do another one soon.
You're not coming on.
That's fine. All right,
you're always late.
No, there's Leonard as well. Leonard.
I'm gonna put my little.
That bus driver.
We'll chat. We'll chat about.
We'll chat. I'll see you soon.
All right, mate. Take care, mate.
He's the bus.
Thanks, mate.
There's the bus. Old route master. See you later.
Take care.
Do I come off? Or do you just press off, Mike?